Okay. And do you want to know what the disturbing news trend is today, Trudy?
What is that? Going to Germany to hang out outside the nanny's house?
What's up with that nanny, by the way?
I don't know what's up with the nanny, but what point is there to going to Germany? They're not going to talk to you.
I know.
Going in and out of their house, and the whole point of the story is then, hey, somebody came in, somebody went out. That's
I know.
That's the whole they came
I have
up
to say,
with.
Channel 7 and Channel 4 have just looked silly in this coverage of Germany.
They look like stalkers.
I think, and I'd love to hear from somebody who works in an au pair agency. I get the impression that it's unusual, not necessarily to pull her out of the house like that, because obviously that was a strange situation.
Gone in a hurry.
Yeah, but I would think she would have been replaced with another family. And for some reason, or tell me if I'm wrong, if you're an au pair or you work for an agency or you run one of those agencies, would it be normal if this girl did nothing wrong at all? She just watched those kids and did a great job. And, of course, this missing Tara Grant situation happened. Would it be normal to send her back to her home country right away?
I would think they'd pull her out of there immediately, and they would wait before reassigning her just because when it explodes in the States, if she's working for somebody else, and then all of a sudden she's the one, and then that family having a problem with that possibly, they might be like, wait a minute, this is the same au pair, she's working for us now, and this is sort of weird, and we don't know what's going on here, and she's being questioned.
Well, but at that time,
there would be a problem there. So I could imagine them pulling her out of there, if nothing else, to also try to get their company out of the headlines.
When she was removed, though, we knew nothing.
Right.
We didn't even know she was missing yet.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
So,
I don't think that's any accident.
Why would she not be just put somewhere else? If she said, oh, yeah, it's crazy that Tara's missing, well, you know, why don't we pull you out of there? It's a weird situation. We'll put you in another house or reassign you or something like that, because they don't come over here just to go back home. Usually they end up getting married or...
Well, you know,
I don't know about that. A lot of them do go back.
Well, some do.
You know, the I know nothing defense is huge with Germany. Think of Hogan's heroes, remember Schultz?
Yes.
I know nothing. I see nothing. Very typical.
Before I forget, what's your Bob Seger song?
It is Main Street.
All right. Okay. When you hear Main Street, be caller 36. You're in row 2 for the March 15th show. That is day after tomorrow. And a few tickets do remain. Anyway, I'd love to hear from some people working the au pair business. Drew Mike at WRF.com or 313-298-WRIF.
I know I hate you because I hate you.
Oh. Do you want to know what my distributing news trend is,
What
Trudy?
is it? I thought that was it, but what is it?
Okay, first of all, there's this story. Police are searching for a man. Well, I guess we should prepare you for this.
Please, everybody, prepare yourself for masturbation.
No, one of those.
Police are searching for a man in his 20s who exposed himself to a 13-year-old girl as she walked home Thursday from Clintondale Middle School in the 15-mile Little Mac area. The man stepped outside his late 1990s burgundy four-door truck, possibly a Toyota, driving a foreign car, too.
Ooh. Wow.
No reason to hate him?
With the roof.
He's a pedophile or
with a roof rack?
Wow, in
So
his
he could
20s?
escape quickly? And masturbated near the girl before fleeing.
Oh.
Wait, he stepped out of the truck and then he was flogging it outside the truck?
Yeah, in front of this 13-year-old girl.
Just standing there on the sidewalk,
Why can't you just do that
maybe.
online?
I know. Can you imagine how
Not the
confusing
same.
that would be to a 13-year-old girl, too?
Well, these days,
these
not
days,
really.
True, I guess.
Probably see it all the time at even the Friday night parties.
I got to tell you, though, I blocked for, I would say, 30 years. I blocked out that day when we were playing Kick the Can in front of my house, and that man asked me for directions, and I walked up to his car.
The boner under the map.
And he had his pants down at his ankles.
Yeah, all right. But see, it's a different world now.
You know what
this happens every other week now.
You know what I remember, though? And it's just as distinct as can be. The stench inside that car. I smelled alcohol, which I'd never smelled quite that strongly before, but I just smelled this horrible, powerful, I don't know, whiskey on his breath or something.
Now whenever
like
you
that.
smell whiskey, you have an immediate flashback to an erection under a map.
Well, for the longest time, I blocked the incident out completely, but then we were on the air one day. In fact, it's funny, all the weird things that I've remembered years later have happened on the air.
It's been therapeutic for you.
The what?
Taste.
The what?
Taste. It was a joke. Taste.
Oh, funny. God, I'm so glad I fought to find out that. Oh, God. Anyway, a 13-year-old girl. Jesus, what a sicko. And then the other thing is, remember Mario Vasquez from American Idol?
Yeah.
He is facing accusations he tried to masturbate in front of a male employee.
What went wrong?
Well,
since he tried to.
The male employee was not too impressed, and he went to the American Idol people, and they fired him. Yeah, like, hey, don't complain about Mario Vasquez masturbating in front of you. You're fired!
Is that right?
Who wouldn't want that to happen?
Anybody in the Final 12 could masturbate in front of you, you lowlife!
Is that right?
You watch and say you enjoyed it.
Jeez.
The lawsuit, lawsuit. Guy's name is Magdaleno Olmos, assistant accountant for Fremantle Media, the company that produces American Idol. The lawsuit almost claims Vasquez stared lasciviously, smiled lasciviously, and on one occasion followed him into a bathroom, knocked on the door of the plaintiff's stall, made eye contact through the space in the stall door.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, was that gross? I had that happen to me once.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. That happens like crazy.
I thought someone was near my stall, and I was like, what's some creepy going on? Because, you do have that sixth sense when you're in a bathroom stall at what's going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up in the gap, and there was this eye!
Are you sure you're not inviting all these encounters, Drew?
No.
Yeah.
It's like one after another.
I am not.
Projecting
It
homosexuality.
goes on and on.
I'm just trying to live my life. I was in a bathroom at a library.
You're being too fetching in front of certain
You must be. You're just attracting all these creeps with erections.
Anyway, I kicked the door. I was so freaked out, I didn't know what to do.
And the eye went away.
Yeah, the eye went away. But the other one, the classic, you'll remember this. When I was this was in the library, too, at Va-Tech. I was in the basement.
What a perverted joint that was.
Looking for a book. Well, this was the other library. It wasn't the Va-Tech library. But anyway, I didn't realize this, but the basement bathroom at the Virginia Tech Library was a big homo hangout. I had no idea.
Are you sure you didn't have an idea?
No, I had no idea.
Right.
Poor innocent Drew.
Yeah, so I had no idea it was a hangout.
So I see this foot.
As I went in there, everyone was nude with boners, but
there was no one in the bathroom when I went in there.
So what's going on?
This is the third story in a row.
Anyway, all right, I shouldn't have. I was just trying to stay.
And I got an idea. You're just beginning.
I was just trying to stay with the subject.
You're making me gay.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, the disturbing trend.
All right, do you want me to finish the story, or should I just leave it behind?
Go ahead.
Well, this foot got it got a little too close to the divider, between the stalls.
Right.
I'm like, why is that guy's foot, right next to...
He's sending you a signal.
And then I see the foot start tapping, and there's a sign on the tile, or somebody had written on the tile, tap twice for BJ.
And it was just tapping away.
Oh.
He tapped twice.
Oh, boy. Good God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, jeez.
I know. Nice.
Shower again.
Anyway.
Hey, you like to see homos naked? That's cool, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
So here's Mario Vasquez staring lasciviously, smiling lasciviously, and following this guy in the bathroom, knocks on the door, makes eye contact through the space in the stall door. That's where we were when I diverted into my personal stories. In the lawsuit, it's alleged that Mario Vasquez started to rub his genitals over his pants. Attempting to leave the bathroom, almost opened the door of the stall and saw Vasquez standing in front of him with his pants down, masturbating. According to documents, Vasquez pushed almost further into the stall and continued masturbating. So he forced him. He's like, you will not leave until I'm done.
Wow.
He pushed him into the stall and continued masturbating with one hand.
He pushed him into the stall?
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Why wouldn't this guy just take a swing at him?
Yeah, how badass.
I know, he only had
Weights.
one hand available, one arm available.
No, absolutely. and he's vulnerable to be kicked in the clock weights.
So Vasquez then pushed almost back into the stall and continued masturbating with one hand and trying to pull down Almost's pants with the other hand.
Oh, wait a minute.
To make Vasquez sound like an octopus or something.
This scenario is a little bizarre. One hand is tied up on his unit, the other hand is grabbing this guy's belt, and this guy is like powerless. I mean, it sounds like this guy is just standing there going, don't, like powerless.
These
He's got
boys,
both of his hands free.
These boys should have been shown this 1961 video on homosexual predators, obviously.
I'm Lieutenant Williams, a police officer attached to the Juvenile Division. I'm on my way to Monroe Junior High School to talk to a group of young people. That looks innocent enough, doesn't it? Lots of young people hitchhike. Seems like a good way to get from one place to another. But sometimes there are dangers involved that never meet the eye. Let's take the case of Jimmy Barnes. Jimmy played baseball all afternoon, and he didn't feel like walking home, so he decided to thumb a ride.
Jimmy.
He'd done it 100 times before, and he didn't think anything was unusual when the driver struck up a friendly conversation.
Yeah, I heard Mike Clark's story.
He seemed like a real nice guy. He asked Jimmy if he played baseball in the park often. Jimmy told him they practiced 3 times a week and played a rival group on Friday afternoon. The stranger was a good listener, too. And it only seemed minutes before they pulled up in front of Jimmy's house. When Jimmy got out, the stranger gave him a friendly pat. Then he told him he'd see him again, as he always drove by the park on his way home. Sure enough, the following day, when Jimmy finished playing ball, well, the man was there waiting.
That would freak me out.
Drive-in, and the stranger treated him to a Coke. During their conversation, he told several off-color jokes. But Jimmy had heard others before, and, well, it made him feel big to so easily win the confidence of an older person. The following Saturday, they went fishing together.
Oh.
By now, they were using first names. Ralph said it was more friendly. Jimmy hadn't enjoyed himself so much in a long time.
Uh-oh.
Then during lunch, Ralph showed him some pornographic pictures.
Hot.
Jimmy knew he shouldn't be interested, but, well, he was curious. What Jimmy
feels like a big boy.
Was that Ralph was sick. A sickness that was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous and contagious. A sickness of the mind. You see, Ralph was a homosexual.
That's a sickness of the mind?
Relationship with members of their own sex. But by now, Jimmy felt a fondness for Ralph, and they continued to go places together. Ralph was generous and took Jimmy many interesting places and did many nice things for him. He bought presents and even gave him money.
Wow.
God, listen to that music how it kicked up at the presents.
You see, Jimmy hadn't recognized Ralph's approach soon enough. When Ralph first asked Jimmy to go fishing alone, he should have discussed it with his parents or teacher. Finally, Jimmy told his parents, and they reported it to the juvenile authorities. Ralph was arrested, and Jimmy was released on probation in the custody of his parents.
Wait, why'd Jimmy get probation? What did Jimmy do wrong?
Did
he have to return the presents?
I don't know. Boy, when they started talking about the presents, that music just started blasting.
I hope he got to keep the presents for all that.
I don't know.
What does a homo give you when he's breaking you in?
Anything?
Probably whatever Jimmy wanted.
New fishing pole. PlayStation 3.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was 1961, though.
Oh, man.
Maybe a new A2000 glove, because he went by the baseball field.
You see that old projector.
Fall off after that?
Jimmy's game? I don't know. It probably didn't hurt his game at all. He's getting all these presents. He's in a great mood. He's fishing with a guy. Feels like a big boy. He's hearing big boy jokes.
Just a little
looking
guilty,
at big boy
though.
Pictures.
But he is feeling a little guilty.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't think Jimmy felt guilty. I think Jimmy was having a ball.
Literally.
Until...
What if he went to his teacher and his
found
teacher
out.
dropped his drawers?
Let's
teachers anymore.
You mind if we listen to video number 2, Trudy?
No, please go.
This is about rest areas. This, I think, still applies today. This is why I want to play it. 46 years later, I think this video will probably still apply because rest areas, as we know, are still bastions for homosexuality, especially guys in the down low. Married men on the down low.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Better watch out, Trudy.
In the bastion.
Just kidding.
Public restrooms can often be a hangout for the homosexual. Bobby and his friends hadn't noticed the man who had been in the restroom when they changed, and as it was late, he suggested they take the shortcut under the pier, but the others preferred to take the more traveled way home. When Bobby recognized the stranger as the man in the restroom, the shortcut under the pier didn't seem like a good idea at all. After all, it's more fun to stay with your friends anyway. Bobby had made a wise decision. It may have saved his life. The decision is always yours. and your whole future may depend on making the right one. So no matter where you meet a stranger, be careful if they are too friendly, if they try to win your confidence too quickly, and if they become overly personal. One never knows when the homosexual is about. He may appear normal.
That music sounds like Leave It to Beaver or something, you know.
So keep
like
with
Wally
your
and
group,
him are walking to
and
school
don't
or
go
something.
off alone with strangers unless you have the permission of your parent or teacher.
Did we miss a front end to that video? Was there something we should have seen before that or heard?
Audio-visual guys forget a reel?
Where Bobby didn't take the bait, though. It was a happy ending.
True.
Sort of.
As Denny and Jerry got the papers ready for Jerry's afternoon delivery, they only casually noticed the two boys that raced by in the afternoon traffic. And they didn't pay much attention to the car that drew up shortly afterwards until the man called them over.
Yep, sounds like
my experience. Boys been by on bicycles? The boys nodded they had. Could they recognize them if they saw them again? Well, then he guessed he could. And hop in, the man said. Those are stolen bikes. Without giving it another thought, Denny got in and the car sped away. Jerry watched. He'd been told many times, if a friend got in a car with a stranger to write down the license number. It didn't seem to apply, but, well, fortunately, he marked it down. When he delivered a paper to Denny's house, he asked his mother if they'd caught the boys that had stolen the bicycles. Denny hadn't returned, so he told her the story and gave her the paper with the license number. Being a careful parent, she decided to call the police. Jerry supplied the necessary information, and the stranger's car was quickly spotted.
Good job, Jerry.
It was a good example of how important it is to always get the license number and description of any stranger who takes a young person off alone, no matter what they tell you.
Well, these are all good lessons, I think.
Yeah, even today. They apply today.
I should tell this to Peter Pace, because he does not want to see homos naked in the Army. That's one of the actual news stories linked to this morning.
Oh, good. You've piled in. You've organized your news to join our party.
All gay.
You're brought to us by the DM.
Gay.